Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Jared Powley's Fragrance Reviews. Tonight we're going to be looking at a fragrance from the house of Chanel, and this is Allure Homme EDT, which came out in 1999. Since that time, this fragrance has gone under several formulations and has been tamed down a fair bit. This is the only bottle I own, which is maybe 2-3 years old. There are also several flankers in this series, so always be cautious before you buy. This is the EDT. So for me, Chanel, in terms of a company, was the first company I ever heard of in my fragrance journey. Chanel number 5, it was a woman's fragrance. And since then, I must say, in maybe the last 20 years, I have been underwhelmed by Chanel. There is a lot of hype, but to me, they simply do not deliver. My two favorite fragrances from Chanel are older fragrances from the 80s and 90s. Their designer line is good, but there's nothing groundbreaking or earth-shattering. I always wait for something to come out that blows me away, and still to this day, I have not experienced it from Chanel. But as for this fragrance, it's a cozy, smooth, pleasant, somewhat humble type of men's fragrance. I'm just going to take it out of the box here and give it a spray. So this is a fragrance that is very pleasant, and it is a fragrance that I do like from Chanel. This is one of my favorites. So the initial blast is a very appealing citrus vanilla, and it's not too sharp. Very nice opening. As it dries down, you get a little bit of spiciness. It becomes smoother, and the citrus and vanilla seem to blend together with a woodiness, almost like a cedar type of scent. Later on, the fragrance is moderately warm, still sweet, still the citrus, but it blends into no real distinguished notes. It's well blended, but there's nothing that pops out at you. There is nothing that defines this fragrance. And I think that's why it could be very mass appealing. But this is a fragrance that can be worn as a signature scent. It can be worn to the office. I think it's for a gentleman maybe mid-20s and up, all the way to his 50s. As per performance, I would say this fragrance, I got about 5 or 6 hours, and the scent trail and the scent bubble was average. And that's why I say it's a bit of a conservative fragrance, and maybe it was designed that way. But it is elegant, but it's not sophisticated. It's simple, not complex. This is, like I said, this is a fragrance that I think is worthy to put in your collection. And I think this is something that when you're unsure of what to wear for a certain occasion, this is something you can grab that is not going to be too overbearing, but not something that will not be noticed. So if you are someone that is interested in a fragrance like this, and you want to maybe be a little bit under the radar, this is something I would investigate. Again, always try before you buy. There are many flankers, like I said, and there is somewhat of a difference between some of the flankers, but the general DNA, I think, remains in most of the Allure fragrances. There is an encyclopedia of notes in this fragrance, and I will go over them as quickly as possible. Lemon, peach, ginger, mandarin, lavender, and bergamot are the top notes. The mid notes are pepper, cedar, patchouli, vetiver, rose, rosewood, jasmine, gardenia, freesia, and anise. The base notes are vanilla, tonka bean, coconut, sandalwood, amber, benzoin, musk, leather, and oak moss. And I think that sometimes when you have that many notes, it can be hard to pull off anything that sticks out to you. It's blended, but there's nothing that defines the characteristic and defines the fragrance, which I do think is a problem in this particular scent. But it is one that I considered worth buying. And the fragrances that I do reviews on are ones that either I have bought as a blind buy, and I had no access to any type of preliminary scent of it, or fragrances that I really like. But I don't buy fragrances that I am 50-50 on. There has to be something about it that I see worthwhile in buying, and that's the way you should look at it too. It's your money. Don't just fork out money for something that you're wishy-washy on. It has to have a purpose in your fragrance line. And also you may just like a fragrance because you get compliments, the ladies like it, but you may not be too crazy about it. And I think a lot of times the result is very important too, that it has on people. If it's too strong and you like it, but other people don't like it around you, you may just want to wear it in private quarters. So those are just a few oblique side remarks that I would like to make about fragrances in general. If you like this video, hit the like button, the subscribe button, the notification bell, leave any comments or questions you have down below and I'll be sure to answer them. And thanks for watching. Bye for now.